Today we're going to look at the FujiColor QuickSnap. This cute little box, or a version of it, began production in the late 80s when there wasn't really a cheap camera. At the time, a simplest camera would have set you back a couple of €100, and Fujifilm set out to make something that would cost you only 10. To do that, they created the film with a lens, which basically means it's the simplest plastic box, simplest shutter, a thumb winder, massive hole to compose through, and then it comes preloaded with a film. Interestingly, the film is completely unwound, and as you take a picture and then wind it on, you're winding the film back into the canister. So once you've finished, it's ready to remove and develop. The body doesn't get destroyed in this process. There's a little plastic door in the design of the camera. The lab would remove the film, develop the film, and send the body back to Fuji. During the initial release and its heyday, this little box was 100% recycled, reloaded with film, and restocked on the shelves, making it not quite as disposable as you first thought. So, enough talk about the camera itself. Let's see how well the pictures turned out. Pretty terribly. Normally the Fujifilm disposable cameras are known for being actually quite nice and not bad and not too soft an image, but this one is 13 years expired on a cheap consumer stock and was found in a warm junk shop where it's not been refrigerated for all of those 13 years past its expiration date. So the sensitivity has been significantly reduced. Especially in the shadows, it's just a muddy mess. This is the initial scan of this particular shot. Then I tried to see if I could tweak it to bring out some natural colors and maybe some detail in the shadows. And finally, I decided to try a black and white conversion, and honestly, I think that came out pretty cool. So let's get back to the photo walk. All of the photos will be in one or more of those states, depending on how well I thought that particular shot came out. Enjoy. Alright, welcome back inside. So let's talk about the process first. I haven't shot a disposable camera in my adult life, and honestly, it was really refreshing. You kind of know already that it's not going to be your best work, so you just go out and you take pictures of stuff and you just snap things without really caring. It's a very different mindset from, let's say, taking a medium format camera out with a tripod and trying to make sure that every single shot on the roll is perfect. Definitely a thing that I quite like to do more of. I like the process of just snap, 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 and we'll deal with it later. Now, the results. Like I said, this is a significantly expired, cheap stock. I had no idea actually what was in it, whether it was 400 or 800, don't know what the aperture might have been like or the shutter speed. I also got the lab to push it one stop as well, just in case there was anything that could have been sort of pulled out of there. Maybe that helped, I don't know. But honestly, I'm not mad about it. I think I used to be into very clinical shots, that everything has to be perfect, good exposure, good focus, you know, the perfect shot every time. But recently, as I mentioned in my last video, I've been exposed to different types of photography, especially like the cis culture or the arebure bokeh movement. That lack of cleanliness, the sort of take a photo now, deal with it later kind of thing. Definitely doesn't work in any situation, and there's moments when I would definitely not want to deal with this totally unforeseeable result. But that idea that a photo doesn't have to be a perfect representation of the physical moment, but also a representation of the emotional moment. And walking around, just here's my life, and then not knowing what's going to come back or not come back, and then remembering things and having sort of, there's a certain nostalgia about that super grainy, destroyed visual that, yeah, honestly, some of the shots I really like it, especially these three, I think came out really cool. I'm sure there's an audience for it. I know that some of my followers on Instagram have really enjoyed these photos, much more than I expected them to, because it's quite far from what I normally post. But yeah, I think it shows that everything has its place and everything has its audience, so just go out and have some fun with your shots. If you enjoyed that video, let me know down below. If you didn't, also let me know. I've been really into expired film lately, so if you want to see something totally different, I'm really open to suggestions. Just give me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, you might enjoy future content, so maybe click that button too. Share it around, and I'll see you next week.